What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the first ever episode of the first ever podcast filmed in EXP World 2.0. This is YPTV, and my name is Andrew Hatfield. Over here, we got Larry Lanny in St. Pete, Florida, and we also got Jacob Buckley here in Phoenix with me. This is going to be a solo episode. So with that, we're going to just be talking about our businesses, who we are, what YPTV stands for, and then the future for the Young Professional Network and how we can make 2023 the best year ever for all of us. So without further ado, let's learn a little bit more about Larry Lanny in St. Pete, Florida. Larry, you want to tell us a little bit about you and how you got to where you are today?
For sure. Yeah. Hey, guys. Thanks, Andrew. Super fired up that this thing's, coming to fruition. We've been putting a lot of work into it through the holidays. So, yeah, just stoked to be here with you guys and to be here for you guys watching. A little bit about me. I am from the Tampa Bay area market, specifically St. Petersburg, Florida. I've been in real estate 5 years. I'm coming up next month on my 2-year anniversary with eXp Realty. Totally has changed my outlook on the business. I found my forever home here. Born and raised in the Tampa Bay area. Definitely love living in a place where there's 300 plus days of sunshine a year. Love being that local expert. St. Petersburg's just like a super young, hip, thriving city. So, yeah.
Heck yeah, dude. I love to hear it. So, sorry if you mentioned it. You said you're going to be at eXp for 2 years now, coming up here soon?
Yep.
And where did you come from?
So I was at Keller Williams for, I think, about 8 months prior to that. And then I spent a few years at a smaller boutique brokerage where I got licensed and started in the investment side of things.
Okay.
Yeah. What brought you to eXp?
So it's a longtime friend of mine. I've known him coming up on 10 years now. Always kind of just in my ear, like, just take a look at it. Come on, let's go have lunch. Let's do this. Let's do that. And always just give him the brush off. I finally went out to coffee with him and some of the eXp agents around Tampa Bay. And shortly thereafter, I onboarded to eXp.
Yeah, so all three of us have this in common. We were all former Keller Williams agents, and I'm sure many of the watching this were shaking their now we're all here under eXp. It's so amazing. This company is seriously insane. It'll take you to the next level. Look at what we're doing right now. We are in a custom video studio that we built through eXp World, the original metaverse. Name another company that's doing this. I don't think you can. Let me give you a little insight on who I am, and then that'll kind of lead into Jacob's because we have a very similar story. Jacob and I are both actually from Iowa. We grew up together, been good friends since elementary school. But when we started entering high school, we realized we had something in common. We don't like school. We didn't want to go to college. And we both subscribed to an entrepreneurial mindset. Therefore, we needed to figure out what can we do after high school to grow and just live the most kick-ass life ever. Because you only live once, for real. So you better make it good. So we started taking real estate classes our senior year of high school. So we kind of figured out that was the route we wanted to go. But more importantly in our journey was realizing that we did not live in Iowa. We're from a really small town, actually. So the growth could only go so far. Mm-hmm. So we had to move somewhere else. And we were extremely, extremely close to living in St. Petersburg, Florida, which would have been hilarious because we'd probably be friends with Larry, even if we didn't move here. But we ended up moving to Phoenix. And so super blessed. We've been living here for about 2 years now. And Jacob, why don't you tell me a little bit about what we've done since we've gotten here?
Yeah, so we've been licensed just under 2 years, and like they were saying before we were at Keller Williams. Drew was actually at Keller Williams for just 2 months, and I was at Keller Williams for 2 weeks, and then we switched over to EXP. So most of our business has been done under EXP. And yeah, last year we kind of just took the role of like learning, trying to get as much information as we could. And now this year is the year to grind. 2023 is going to be a good year for all three of us.
Yeah. Yeah. And to get real and share some numbers with you, like Jacob said, we spent the first year really just learning the fundamentals of the business, the contract stuff, and then on top of that, learning human psychology, and then the whole sales portion of the business, which is just as large as anything else. We managed to do, so we actually did some rental transactions as well. And in the state of Arizona, there is no determined fee for that. I just wanted to make that aware. Every state's kind of different. So we ended up doing 19 transactions and at a total of $5.6 million. So a pretty good first year. I'm not upset about where we are, but I will say in 2023 alone, we absolutely expect to quadruple that business and multiply for years to come.
Exactly.
So we have, I think, a super important way to having this mindset, especially now we're still in January of 2023. So we have the year looking forward. And we have three main things that we're going to be focusing on. But I wanted to point this to Larry. Larry, what are three pillars of your business that you're really looking forward to digging deep into for 2023?
It's a good question. I am always looking to sort of like raise my standards, like in my business, both like inward and outward, like the standards to which like I hold myself to, but also, in my business physically out there in my clientele, because time is a limited commodity. I only have so many hours in the day and in the work day, and how I spend that time is super important. And I have to be super intentional about that in order to, get the biggest ROI, on my time. So those are kind of two things right there, is just holding the standards of my business to a certain level. And then, my time, and also just paying attention to that and being intentional about that and just having awareness, with that. And then my mindset and like always just coming from contribution. One of the reasons we started the show is just to contribute value to agents, because I do believe that if I just focus on giving value, I inherently become more valuable. It's not about chasing sales for me. It's about giving value. And the result always comes. Like I'm always taken care of when I do that. So yeah, the main basis of this show, and really young professionals in general, we don't get paid to do this. I could be, behind the computer right now, chasing leads, making phone calls, but just sort of trusting the process in that, and just delivering value to other agents. And yeah, the results will come.
Yeah. That's so good to hear. I think a lot of agents might say it, but it really is a difference maker when you truly believe it. How many agents are truly in the business who just give as much as possible? That's really what we do on a day-to-day basis. And like you said, you become more valuable when you don't look at it from a transactional perspective, but when you're looking at it from the perspective of, it would be irresponsible for me to not help you through this transaction. With the knowledge that I have, I know what I can save you. I know I can make your life easier. So that's what I'm here to do for you.
Clint, it's like about reaching out and your touches to potential prospects, clients, past clients, in my opinion, need to be centered in that. Like I made a phone call yesterday to a past client. I said, look, I don't know if you know, your home probably has more than 20% equity in it. You didn't put 20% down. You probably have private mortgage insurance on it. why don't you go click these few buttons in your app if you have the app, and try to get a BPO or an appraisal done to wipe that off your payment.
Yeah.
Wow. So how important? Because your business, in previous discussions, we've talked about how your business is mainly based on your sphere of influence, and then you also have a really awesome referral network as well. How important to you is follow up, and how is that something you've taken serious, extremely serious, being diligent in follow up?
Yeah, I mean, I have like a sequence for follow up. I think of it less as like follow up, like in like the traditional sense, and more of like I'm like reaching out to provide value to people who I've either A, done business with, B, want to do business with, or C, I've identified a need and a place where I can help or add value to this person. But yeah, there's obviously definitely value in a number of touches to people and following up with them. But yeah, I think of people less as leads and more of like people obviously do business with those that they know, like, and trust. And so I'm building that through just being valuable to them.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So what about you guys? Jacob, what are your 3 keys to success in 2023? You guys want to put up 4X what you did last year. So what's the plan?
Yeah, I think it's, everyone talks about doubling down. So we're doubling down on open houses. We're doubling down on the leads we buy, and obviously the follow-up. And then we're doubling down on social media. So those are like our big 3 like lead generation sources.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So to touch base on why those 3 are what we've chosen. When it starts with social media, we talk about how important that is. If you're somebody in the business world, social media is unbelievably important. In fact, I've never really looked at it as lead gen, as more of just something that I really like to do. But we recently started doing high quality home tours, and we'll be posting them every Friday. But the first one we posted, I actually had somebody reach out and she let me know that she just moved here from Boston and is looking to purchase somewhere in Arizona, and she needs help finding the exact place she's looking for. She found me through that video. So once you get that taste in your mouth of like, okay, wow, this could actually be a pillar of my business. This is something we really need to focus on, and it's fun. So that's something that we're doing. And then we really wanted to have a traditional, proven way of growing a real estate business. And time again, from people who do hundreds and millions of dollars in business a year, they got started in open houses. So we are simply ripping off and duplicating the process into our business, and that's how we're going to get started too. So we've challenged ourselves to do 100 open houses in 2023. We got 99 left to go. Yeah, 99 left to go. But more importantly than just doing the open house, like Jacob said, we need to have a really good follow-up process.
Yeah, that's honestly something we were lacking last year, and now we're seeing the importance of it. And yeah,
I mean, we lost a lot of deals by simply not going out and just making sure we were following up, making sure we're texting people, video texting people, hitting them with bonbons, emails. And just like you said, Larry, providing value over and over again and how we can help them. So that's something that we're going to be doing, along with keeping insane amounts of data for you guys, for other agents. If we can do 100 open houses, what does that data look like at the end of the year? And then, maybe it is something you want to implement in your business for 2024. So that's really what we got going for this year. And then another thing is this young professional network. This is such an awesome opportunity for those who are state leaders and also for those who are members, because we get to network with people, we get to bounce ideas off each other, and then also we get to remember how hard it is to grow a business and grow a real estate business, especially when you're younger, like this network is geared towards.
For sure.
Yeah.
How'd you guys get involved with young professionals?
Jacob, go ahead.
Yeah, we actually, so Eden, shout out Eden. She is someone we met at EXPCon, and we did not know about the group. Actually, Andrew, I think you have heard of the group at the time, right?
Yeah. The Instagram was brand new. I want to say there was like,
I think it was like 2 months of it being new. So
Yeah.
there's 500 followers at the time.
yeah.
And we met Eden, and she kind of told us about it, and then she started noticing some of the videos we were posting at EXPCon. We did like a video series of each of the 4 days. We did a different video for each day, and then we take it from there.
Yeah, I mean, we just gotten a little bit of traction from that video, and there, boom, another reason why social media is so important.
Yeah, it's very important for those connections.
Right. I mean, we wouldn't get the opportunity to be state leaders which we are so grateful for. We wouldn't have met Larry. We wouldn't be doing this show. There's so many things that branch out from social media, where it's like, it's just huge. And let me say it again. I'm so thankful for this Young Professional Network. It's such a cool opportunity to be able to give back, and then grow together. That's what we're here for. Larry, how did you get involved with YP?
I think it was through Workplace. Honestly, I don't really know. I know it was sometime middle to early last year, and I think Eden also had made a post on Workplace, and I was just like, I'm going to show up to this call and just see what it's about. And it was just a few of the founders and early people on it, and I was just raised my hand and was like, yeah, I'll do whatever, and try to help however. And I've just been trying to consistently show up and make the calls and do what I can. And this was one of my earliest ideas, was making a show like this, and like now here we are. And really this is like my single contribution to YP, right? Has been working on this with you guys through the holidays, working like pretty hard at this. We all have been, including Eden, who is here. She's our unsung hero of the show. But what do you see this going for next year, or I guess really this year?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
So, like, where do you see us heading for this year with the show? Like, what are you most excited about? Where do you see it? How we'll get involved with it?
Oh, well, yeah, let me kick that off with, so we recently have been talking about some of the guests that we have getting lined up to come onto this show. And I am so stoked about it. Like, these are people who you would not get the opportunity to just talk to. You don't just run into these people, I'm telling you. From somebody with over 2 million YouTube subscribers, to people who get 3 million views a month on Instagram, to people who have built a business from the ground up, $100 million businesses, and, massive team leaders. This is going to be really, really cool. So the guests that we have coming, the questions that we get to ask them, and more importantly, the questions that the guests get to ask them, because you guys get to come to these shows live. Once we get that up and running, you are going to get to benefit so much from learning from these empires in this industry.
Yeah, I think that's going to be super exciting. Having the audience, the ability to ask these guys questions, not something, like you said, that you get to talk to on a daily basis. So, yeah, super excited for that aspect.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What about you, Larry? How do you see this going?
Yeah, I mean, I am thinking of it less as like teacher and more of like student, like we put in the work, kind of the back end, behind the scenes stuff. And now, we get to kind of like select people to come up here and like learn from, and like I get to tailor questions that, I want asked for, to implement into my business, to help people in my business, in my area, help serve clients better in my area. And yeah, I mean, really where I see it is just a useful space for agents, as a whole, or agents in EXP Realty, and all sorts of vendors that are closely related. So I'm fired up, and I can't wait to start. And yeah, I mean, all I can say, guys, is like, stay tuned, follow our Instagram, reach out, DM any of us if you have questions, if you want to help. I mean, this has been something that's been growing. We now, have like our own little crew at YPTV. Like, if you want to help, raise your hand. Like, reach out. We would love to find something for you guys to do.
Yes.
Even if it's just in young professionals as a whole, or if you have any interest in YPTV as well, we'd love to have you.
And also, we were talking about kind of some of the guests we were having on the show. Since you guys are involved, please let us know like what type of guests you want to see. If there's anyone specific that you want to see on the show, and we will do our best to get them on.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, we got some really cool stuff coming, and we're happy to work with you guys, and we're so excited to meet more of you along in the future. Here soon, we're going to be hosting an event where we can all actually come into this studio and all get to meet each other, learn a bit about your business, and look forward to 2023 growing and making this the best year yet.
Awesome. Definitely. Awesome. Well, we'll see you guys soon. And that's it out of me. What about you guys, Andrew, Jacob?
I'm grateful to be here. So thank you guys so much. We're really looking forward to this one.
See you guys in a couple weeks.
Peace.